Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time for Vindication once again. We are live here in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm here joined by Jay Scott. Let's get ready for some action, shall we?
I am extremely excited. I've taken a look at everything we've got going on here this week on Vindication, and top to bottom, this is an action-packed, exciting card. I cannot wait to get started with our opening contest all the way down to the main event. We're going to have a great time. First up, of course, we've got Ebac in action, and this promises to be something special.
You know, Ebac has actually been finding his footing as a singles competitor once again here recently. And after his recent win, now is going to be the time for Ebac to try and get back up there again. He is a former world champion. So anything to get back up there, he's going to take it, and we're going to see what he does here next.
Absolutely, he could very well be moving on to, competition. Oh, hold on. Oh my God, it's that massive, it's that same person who attacked him the other week. The same person who nailed him with one of Dow Ranger's signature moves. Now he's beating him up in the backstage area.
Well, I don't know what's going on here, but clearly this massive attacker's got something for Ebac, because this is not the first time that's happened, as he's mentioned. But he's just going off on him with that chair nonstop.
Ebac should have been prepared for this. This is exactly the kind of thing that as a CWL wrestler, you have to keep in mind. Ebac did face the same kind of attack last week, or 2 weeks ago, and now he should be prepared for something similar. This is Ebac's fault for not preparing for this kind of assault.
Well, regardless of who this masked individual is, honestly, I don't know what he's got out for Ebac. No, this is not... Oh my God. Well, there it is again. He did it again.
Nailed him with that Salida del Sol. That is the kind of maneuver that Ebac should have been prepared for. I have to admit, as nasty as that attack was, it was all on Ebac for not keeping an eye out for an attack just like that. But up next, we've got Prince Barai versus Alex Graves. Ebac will not be in action after suffering that huge attack with the chair that really I think he should have been able to fend off. But, the former King of Genesis is going to go one-on-one against Alex Graves in our new opening contest.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. A new opening contest for sure. I'm just getting word now. Faith De La Rosa is definitely canceling that matchup. Ebac is getting 10-2 right now. But let's go to the action of the ring.
The opening match of Vindication is set for one fall. Introducing first, accompanied by Ace, weighing 225 pounds, from Biloxi, Mississippi, Prince Barai.
And the enigmatic Prince Barai making his way down to the ring, of course, accompanied not only by his sister Ace, but also by his trusty baseball bat. Now, when you're in the ring against Prince Barai, I gotta think, it must be a pretty frightening prospect. I've, of course, never had the misfortune of going one-on-one against him. But you gotta think, if you're in Alex Graves' shoes, even if, you have that kind of CWL experience, he's such a legendary competitor here in CWL and in other promotions, but I don't know if he's ever faced anyone quite like Prince Barai.
125 pounds, Alex Graves.
And, here comes Alex Graves sporting a bit of a new look. Very interesting here. But, Mr. Chairman, I'm kind of curious. If you're Alex Graves, what are you thinking as you go into the ring against a guy who carries a baseball bat on the way to the ring with him?
Well, we know that Alex Graves has had his run-in with Sicario in the past. Now, of course, Alex Perez over on Nemesis. So, he's used to it. I'm going to be perfectly honest. He's used to it. He's not intimidated by it. But here's the thing. Has Alex Graves done his homework and watched Prince Beret matches? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually Prince Beret's official in-ring debut here on Vindication. So, what's going to give?
I gotta be honest, I've been so used to seeing him as kind of a lurking presence in the shadows that I kind of forgot that we've never seen him in official in-ring competition. But he seems to be starting it out strong with that classic lockup, pushing Alex Graves over to the ropes.
And we see the referee right there doing a good job of separating the two, using the rope break effectively. But now Alex Graves immediately with that side slam in the middle of the ring, showing that he has the experience. He's the veteran here in CWL. He's going to teach Prince Beret a lesson.
Absolutely. I mean, gorgeous back suplex here, Unagi, but it's not going to be enough to put away Prince Beret. This guy is prepared for anything, and the thing is, even if he does take punishment, like, the move that we saw just before, he's going to be able to come back from it. But it looks like Alex Graves is prepared too, as he was able to kick out of that ankle lock beautifully.
Not only that, but let's add a little bit extra story to this, shall we? Prince Beret has been here over the past month and a half or so. He's been tormenting Andre Hunter, and we know that Andre Hunter actually could be watching this match right now, maybe scouting a little bit of Prince Beret. What if you're Prince Beret? What does that do to your psyche, knowing that Andre Hunter could be here at any second?
Well, he has backup. He's got his sister Ace, and he's got that baseball bat. You got to think that he's prepared for an assault by Hunter if that is to happen. And another thing, I don't even know if Prince Beret knows that he's not going up as Andre Hunter right now. He's got all that hair in his eyes. Maybe he's having a little bit of a hard time determining the exact identity of his opponent.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt you there, but it looks like he's having a tough time even just keeping up with Alex Graves as a huge belly-to-belly suplex followed up by that senton. Beautiful maneuver right there by Alex Graves, who looks to be in full control of this matchup so far.
Look, as unpleasant as it is to be on the receiving end of offensive maneuvers, sometimes it's exactly what you've got to do a little bit at the beginning of a match to kind of test the waters against your opponent. Figure out what you're getting into. Even if you've watched someone on tape, there's nothing like taking a punch to the face to kind of determine what kind of competitor you're up against. And that is exactly what Prince Beret is doing. He is lulling Alex Graves into a false sense of security, and that will enable him to get the victory later in this matchup when Alex Graves least expects it.
Alex Graves shifting sides of the ring, maybe trying to get the perfect angle, but as Prince Beret got up, maybe he misses opportunity of doing extra damage, but now Beret, clothesline in the corner, misses, and now an elbow to the face of Alex Graves, and a beautiful swinging neck breaker right there.
And that is exactly what I said. Look, Alex Graves thought he had the time to kind of pick the perfect angle, but Beret was a little bit, he was just playing possum. He had a little bit more strength than Alex Graves gave him credit for, and that is what enabled him to kind of switch the momentum here and get the upper edge in terms of the offense. Now these two clobbering on the outside. Beautiful eye rake there from Prince Beret. Of course, a referee is going to allow that here in CWL competition. And these guys have until the count of 20 to get back inside that beautiful Vindication ring.
Now we see the punches right there, right to the gut of Prince Beret. Prince Beret tried to catch him as he went inside, but the action goes back in. Prince Beret's got Alex Graves on his shoulders. And a gut buster right there, beautifully lifting the knee and just driving it straight into Alex Graves' stomach area, trying to draw all the breath out of the body.
And these repeated kicks right to the abdomen, that is going to make you nauseous and is going to drive all the wind out of your lungs. Going to make it very difficult for Alex Graves to get his momentum back. But if there's one thing we know about Mr. Graves, it is that he is almost unbeatable or indestructible, and he is certainly proving that with that open Graves suplex. Beautiful job there, but not quite enough to put away the former King of Genesis.
He was a King of Genesis for a reason, but if the open Graves was not enough, maybe he followed up with one Lost Soul. Oh, that's new. Okay, I expected the Lost Soul coming in, but now it looks like Alex Graves connects with 2 vertical suplexes. Hooks the
Following
leg.
up with a third. Oh my goodness. You know what we call that? We call that the 3 amigos. And it is enough to put away Alex. It is enough to put away Prince Bray. Alex Graves is your winner here in our opening contest.
Well, definitely a very big win right there for Alex Graves, putting away Prince Beret. But that was actually interesting. I'd never seen that from Alex Graves before. Maybe coming up with a new game plan, coming up with something new was exactly what he needed. And well, he picked up a victory here over Prince Beret.
The winner of the match, Alex Graves.
You know, new look and a new move. Alex Graves was able to get a decisive victory over Prince Beret in his in-ring debut with that series of beautiful vertical suplexes. And that is definitely a well-earned win and something to celebrate, if I'm being honest.
And there we see Prince Beret. Oh my God, hold on, that's Andre Hunter. He's got a chair in hand.
Oh my goodness, and you know, I said before that Prince Beret would be prepared for this kind of assault, but I was expecting it to happen during the match. Prince Beret has already had the everything kicked out of him. I don't know if he's going to be able to, fend off an attack by Andre Hunter, but he was able to disarm him with that chair, and now follows up, oh my goodness, with that lifting elbow drop right to the sternum.
I think I saw Andre Hunter's head hit the back of that chair, and now Prince Beret is continuing the assault there with the chair himself, and Andre Hunter is defenseless.
Oh my goodness, that jumping DDT. We haven't seen him use it very often, but whenever he has, it has been absolutely deadly. What's he going for here?
And we saw him grab the chair. He's probably just trying to get a better angle here as Prince Beret. Now, what is he doing here with that chair? He just put it right underneath the Messiah, and now he's sliding out of the ring. Oh God, no, he's not going to grab another one. Is he going to do I think he's going to do?
Look, I'm a fan of, some vicious action here in CWL, but if he's going to do what I think we both think he's going to do, that goes a little bit too far. Prince Beret, you've done enough. Just stay out of the ring for now, all right? This is a little bit too much. No. Oh my God. Oh my God, Concerto! Sandwiching his head and neck between those 2 hard steel chairs. Andre Hunter's neck could very well be broken after that attack.
And we just see Prince Beret walking away. I'm pretty sure Andre Hunter's just moving right now out of instinct, out of shock, because how are you able to continue after something like that?
And if you notice the specific movements he was making, it was just very small twitches in the arms and legs. He could be paralyzed, if I'm being honest. His neck could be broken. He's going to have to go to the hospital immediately. But up next, we've got Starjammer LLC member Yui Nishimura in action against Danielle Wright for their second highly anticipated match. Pardon me, Mr. Chairman. I just need a second after that attack.
We see the EMTs right down here helping Andre Hunter get on the stretcher. But you're right. We're going to get right back to the action, ladies and gentlemen. The show must go on.
The following match is set for 1 fall. Introducing first, representing Starjammer LLC, weighing 195 pounds, from Sapporo, Japan, the Shoot Fighter Princess, Yui Nishimura.
And here we go. One of the most exciting competitors here to watch on Vindication. Of course, one of the premier members of Star Jammer LLC. You are looking at the J-pop shoot fighter, Yui Nishimura.
It's always very exciting. I'm very excited to have her here. And honestly, after her win over Daniel Wright a few weeks ago, I think she's going to get this one as well.
And her opponents, weighing 150 pounds, from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Danielle Wright.
I mean, Danielle Wright has been absolutely intimidating throughout her run on Vindication, but she seems to have run into a brick wall in the form of Yui Nishimura, unable to get a victory over her in their opening contest that they had a couple weeks ago. But Danielle Wright was not satisfied. She wanted a little bit of revenge. She wanted a little bit of retribution. She wanted to, even the scores. She wanted to show that she is on Yui Nishimura's level, if not above it. Quite frankly, I think she's absolutely incorrect. I think that Yui Nishimura is going to dominate her and destroy her once again.
Well, let's be perfectly honest. She actually did talk about this earlier. Danielle Wright earlier in the week, I should say. We asked her what her game plan was coming into this matchup. What was going to be different? And Danielle Wright just said 2 words. No mercy. Now, I don't know exactly what that means from Danielle Wright, but I'm hoping that she's able to figure it out because, let's be honest, that first match was really good. But now, let's draw attention to this. Last time, these two shook hands before the match started. This time, there was no handshake. You think maybe
Very
this is a
true.
little more personal?
I think so. Look, I think that Danielle Wright, she was putting on that show of respect, but she wanted that win more than anything. And that the fact that she didn't get it, it infuriated her. I mean, she's extremely competitive, and now I think, she's going to be pushing on the gas a little bit more. The training wheels are off, and she is ready to give everything that she's got to Yui Nishimura. And the question is, will it be enough to overcome an athlete like the J-pop shoot fighter?
I think it's possible. We've seen Yui Nishimura actually lose here on Vindication, so we know that she's not an unstoppable monster, if you will. But, she brings the fight. And don't judge a book by its cover. Let's be perfectly honest. Yui Nishimura is as tough as they come.
I would go so far as to say that Yui Nishimura is the toughest that they come, all right? Look, I'm going to try to call this one down the middle, but I have overwhelming faith in my client, all right, Yui Nishimura, who has been making me a ton of money, not only in her in-ring competition, but also in her music career, which is thriving.
So what you're saying is that she's been giving you those diamond hands.
I don't know what that means.
But regardless, let's get back to the action here. As Yui Nishimura is getting she's having a lot of fun here. She's getting great momentum here. There's basically a repeat so far of what we saw from the first match, and Danielle Wright hasn't really brought anything new to the table from what I've seen.
This is the exact kind of arena where Yui Nishimura thrives, all right? She likes to smash 2 things, all right? Record sales and also people's faces. And that is exactly what she is doing here. And she is going to load up that #1 hit later in this match and absolutely decimate Danielle Wright. Danielle Wright just has to survive until that happens. But I don't know if she'll be able to do that as Yui Nishimura unleashes that kick in it to destroy the face of Danielle Wright.
And it wasn't enough. As you can see, Yui Nishimura thought that was actually it. But now she's going to the corner, and I think we're probably about to see the next one. This is what I love to see.
Boom! The #1 hit. Gonna take the top spot on the chart once again. Here we go. And Yui Nishimura picks up her 2nd consecutive victory over Danielle Wright.
A very well-earned victory right there. But now the question is, what does this mean for Danielle Wright? She's down 0-2, and she promised that she was going to even the score. What exactly did No Mercy mean?
The winner of the match, the shoot fighter princess, Yui Nishimura.
Now, congratulations go to Yui Nishimura as she picked up a great victory here. But hold on 1 second. Danielle Wright coming at her. with that sledgehammer from out of nowhere. Clearly, Yui did not see this coming. Clearly, Daniel Wright is just not happy with this loss. She's now down 0-2 as she now picks up Yui Nishimura and just delivers that roundhouse kick right there to the side of the head, leaving Yui Nishimura almost lifeless there in the ring. And now Daniel Wright just leaving. I don't know what's going inside Daniel Wright's head. It's one thing to be upset that you lost 0-2 against somebody like Yui Nishimura, but this is just unacceptable.
Really know, but it certainly seems like we found out what she meant by no mercy. And coming up next, we've got Yamashita versus Dower Ranger. Look, just to clarify, I am extremely furious about what just happened to my member of Starjumper LLC. Rest assured, we will be seeking legal repercussions against Danielle Wright for her totally unprovoked assault. But looking forward to our third match of the night, we've got the former Gold in the Bank holder versus GPU, one half of GPU in the Dower Ranger.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing 251 pounds, from Otai, Japan, Yamashita!
Comes Big Yama, although he could not save himself from losing that match against Dr. Wrestling Jr. at Merry Mayhem when he cashed in after the Doctor had survived the attacks of 7 other men. You got to think that if you're Yamashita right now, you want to be on the road to a little bit of vindication, if you don't mind me making the joke, because he has certainly been behind in the win-loss column, especially after that. He has got to be one to get that win back, and he's going to try to do it over Dower Ranger.
You know, Yamashita is a talent that came in very hot, very well touted, very hyped, if you will. And I don't want to say that he's overhyped, because that's definitely not what I want to say here. But after having basically a rocket-like trajectory at the start of his CWL career, winning Gold in the Bank so fast, well, he hasn't had the best luck since. We're going to be perfectly honest. He disappeared for a few months with the briefcase. He came back, showed up out of nowhere at Merry Mayhem, and he hasn't been seen since. So, I don't know what Yamashita's game is here, but Dower Ranger's going to be a tough test for him.
And his opponent, representing GPU, the Dower Ranger.
And now here comes Dower Ranger. My question is, could he have, shed a disguise earlier in the night and is now competing in the ring? He could very well be the person that attacked Ebac.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't think it's him. Dower Ranger is not a normal man. Let's just say that he's not a normal man. I don't know what he has to gain from attacking Ebac like that. But I will say this: Dower Ranger has been making a lot of good moves lately, and Dower Ranger, I think this could be his breakout year. I mean, let's just call it that. I think this could be his breakout year.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was the one who defeated Andre Hunter in his Vindication debut.
Actually, but correct. That is fact.
Yeah, of course it's facts. I only say facts, all right? And speaking of facts, all right, I'm SMHing my head at you, all right? Your brain is small, Mr. Chairman, because here's the thing. Dower Ranger knows Ebac's schedule. So he would know that Ebac was going to be in the locker room in order to perform that unprovoked attack on him. Therefore, ergo, if you will, he is the perfect candidate top suspect, if you will, to perform that attack. And oh my goodness, and speaking of performing attacks, he was absolutely decimated by that slam there from Yamashita, but now firing right back with that arm breaker.
Now Dow Ranger here sending Yamashita to the corner. Beautiful drop kick. Drops Yamashita to the bottom rope as he's now hanging over it. And look at that beautiful leg drop over the top rope by the Dow Ranger, showing his flashy maneuvers, his flashy ways of attack, if you will. Because again, this is not a normal man.
Absolutely. I mean, dropping the leg right over the back of Yamashita's head and sending his face right into the apron, which we all know is the hardest part of the ring. That'll do some serious damage to your face and specifically the orbital bone, and that makes it very difficult to kind of get back your momentum in a match like this. Yamashita's got to be very careful, but it looks like he's fending off this offense, further offense from Dow Ranger.
Now Yamashita picks up the Dow Ranger back up. Oh, what's he got in mind here? Butterfly's position. Oh, right over the back. The beautiful backbreaker right there from Yamashita.
Gorgeous job, the backbreaker, one of my favorite variations of maneuver. And now following up there with that gut-wrench powerbomb, just planting the shoulder pads, or the shoulder, the pauldrons, I guess, of Dow Ranger square on the canvas.
And look at Dow Ranger still coming back, still trying to keep the assault going as he's dropping the stomps as well as the forearms earlier. Oh, and a foot DDT right there, sending shockwaves up in the body of Yamashita.
Exactly. There are so many tiny bones in an individual's foot, all right? And that foot DDT, some people laugh, all right? They look at the foot DDT, they say, why would you do a foot DDT? It's a very strange move. But that is not the case when it comes to professional wrestlers. They know that the foot DDT is one of the most devastating maneuvers because it can very well easily shatter one, if not several, of those tiny foot bones that everyone has. And Yamashita might be definitely working from a disadvantage here, especially after taking that rolling enziguri to the head.
And it looks like Dow Ranger really thought that was going to be the end of the matchup, as now he picks him back up. Yamashita in trouble. Oh, hold on. Dow Ranger lifts him up, and the Salida del Sol going into a pinfall. Is this going to be it for Yamashita? Is this going to be Dow Ranger's biggest win? And it is!
Oh my god, Dow Ranger scoring the victory. I guess you can see that Yamashita wasn't listo for that, huh? That means ready in Spanish.
The winner of the match, the Dow Ranger.
And there's Dow Ranger celebrating another victory being added to his record. And that makes 2 straight. I mean, as long as I've seen the Dow Ranger, I don't think I've ever seen him get 2 wins in a row.
I gotta say, I was hesitant to agree with you, Mr. Chairman, but I think you may very well be right. This could be Dow Ranger's breakout year, and you can see Yamashita definitely disappointed. He was not ready to have this kind of be the moment. Oh, hold on. The lights have gone out. Oh my God! It's Kaz the Man!
Where'd he come from?
Oh my God! Choke slam! Absolutely destroying him there. He just appeared out of nowhere. He just appeared out of nowhere to decimate Yamashita with that choke slam.
And now look at that. He's going to grab a chair. Yamashita's in trouble. Oh my God. Are we going to see what happened to Andre Hunter again?
Gotta do something about all these weapons under the ring. But hold on, MD here to save the skin of Yamashita. Very curious indeed. MD certainly been, looking to take up the case of a lot of people here on Vindication who have been attacked. And Kaz's assault has been thwarted.
Well, Kaz the Mad retreats as MD tends to Yamashita as we see them walking to the back there. But, oh my God, this Vindication has been absolute chaos, Jay. Literally, everyone's attacking everybody. There's no control. What kind of show is Faith De La Rosa running today?
It is because all of these CWL superstars are getting antsy. They are getting anxious. They are getting furious because they see Verdict is just around the corner and they cannot wait to get started and have some huge high-profile matches. And speaking of a huge high-profile match, up next, we've got the Broken Standard up against the Church of Steel.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 1,724 pounds, Rubble Edward Bronson, the Broken Standard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the debut appearance, if you will, of what we're now going to be calling the Broken Standard. Rubble and Edward Bronson 2 weeks ago made shockwaves when they announced, through body language, because they still haven't said a word, through body language, that they were going to start teaming up. They were going to be the new thing here on Vindication, and perfectly honest, looking at these two together, it's a scary sight.
Oh, absolutely. And look, I think their name makes perfect sense because these two break just about whatever they can get their hands on, be it standards, bodies, CWL production equipment. All right, these two have been dealing out destruction and mayhem for the better part of Season 4, and now they are finally coming together to form the Broken Standard.
And let's be honest here, too. They're going up against a very well-established team on the other side. They're going up against the Church of Steel. Aside from some rumblings that I've heard that apparently Max Shearman is, let's just say, not being as cooperative as before, it's going to be interesting to see if Isaac and Shearman can hold it together, especially against this kind of brute force.
Absolutely. I mean, they are absolutely... I don't want to say unstoppable, but look, the Broken Standard is going to throw a wrench into the plans of the Church of Steel here, all right? They want to continue their dominance. They want to continue their rise to prominence here on Vindication, but it is going to be very hard when you were going to go up against the two mountains in the form of Edward Bronson and Rubble.
Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Broken Standard have made their way to the ring. And again, if I'm the Church of Steel right now, I'm scared.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 412 pounds, Saints Jack Steel, Isaac, the Church of Steel.
And so when this match was announced, or at least previewed up there on the Titantron, it certainly looked like it was going to be Max Shearman joining Isaac in tag team competition, but it looks like his place has been taken by Jack Steel.
Where's Shearman?
I am asking myself the same question, although you got to think, the mastermindery, and that is a word, mastermindery, of Jack Steel, maybe he has Max Shearman lurking in the audience somewhere, ready to, launch an assault on one of the members of the Broken Standard at some point during this match.
Well, I mean, also, is this just the Church of Steel playing mind games then? Because let's look at this now. The Broken Standard was ready for Isaac and Shearman. Now that it's Isaac and Jack Steel, that changes the entirety of the game.
And you got to think that especially after taking that loss to MD on the Vindication Super Show, Jack Steel wants to get another win on his record, especially considering, how unexpected that loss was, especially because he was in, an area that he felt relatively comfortable in that submission match. So perhaps he thinks that he has a shot here of getting a win against the Broken Standard, although I don't know how you could stand in that corner of the ring and think that you have a shot when it comes to these two huge individuals teaming together, because I mean, how much do they weigh together? Like 600 pounds, maybe more?
Well, according to the ring announcer, he said 1,300 pounds. I think at least 3 fully grown male tigers.
That is a lot of tigers. And now Jack Steele firing right back with that back elbow. And now getting him in the corner. You know, I expressed some doubt that he was going to be able to get some momentum, but I should not have put it past the Church of Steel, who are, of course, the premier force here on Vindication. Taking him up here. Look at that. And just turning him around with that huge arm drag there. Beautiful job.
Absolutely beautiful job done there by Jack Steele. As now, look at him just lift up Rubble like it's nothing, a backdrop, and he just keeps up to his feet. Jack Steele is just feeling himself right now. He is definitely having, you know, he's showing here the power of the Church of Steel, which is something I never thought I'd ever say.
And now, lifting him up, he's got those arms hooked up, turning him around, and just flattening him there. With that backbuster, I guess? What do you call that? And now, oh my god, just sandwiching him there against the turnbuckle pads. But Jack Steele able to come back, turns him around with that drop toe hold.
It doesn't matter what it's called as long as it's effective, as now we see both men fight on the outside. Rubble try to go for a double chop right there, but instead Jack Steele reverses as the mule kick also gets reversed. These two are just going back and forth as Rubble just smashed Jack Steele's face on the apron there. The referee keeps counting, and don't forget there is a 20 count here in the CWL. So they're gonna have time to fight it out here on the outside as the referee keeps counting up.
Absolutely, and now these two. Oh my goodness. And look at that. Rubble just absolutely with a firm hold on the back of Jack Steele's head and now ramming his face into the post there. That is going to make it very difficult for Jack Steele to give those sermons that he's so fond of.
You know, Jay, I've actually got a question here now. All the punishment all this punishment that Jack Steele is taking was meant for Max Shearman. Do you think Jack Steele is going to take that personally?
You know, we're talking about the Church of Steel, all right? We're talking about the leader of the Church of Steel in the form of Jack Steele. He's a martyr, all right? He takes the punishment that goes to others, and he takes it upon his own back, because that is just the kind of selfless individual that he is, all right? He is willing to take that punishment in the face of others. He wants to, protect the, what is it? Take the, I never read the New Testament, so I don't know the exact verbiage that we're talking about here, but let's just say I'm sure that the virtuous, the courageous, the selfless leader of the Church of Steel is not going to take this personally. When has he ever been one to hold grudges?
I mean, no comment?
Exactly. You have no comment because you know that I'm right. And now Jack Steele is going one-on-one against Edward Bronson here in the middle of the ring, and now picking him up, hitting that original sin, just collapsing the spine of Edward Bronson in on itself. That is not the kind of impact that you want to take, and Edward Bronson just barely kicking out at the count of 2.
Let's be perfectly honest. That was an incredible feat of strength by Jack Steele. I don't ever think I've ever seen him pull that off on somebody the size of Bronson. But now, if anything, that's going to make Bronson mad. And when Bronson gets mad, it's blood breaker time.
Well, perhaps Jack Steele is recognizing that and very wisely tagging in Isaac instead of himself. As selfless as Jack Steele is, he might not want to be on the receiving end of that blow breaker. In fact, I don't think anyone would want to be on the receiving end of that blow breaker, except for maybe, Chris Princess, because that's kind of his whole thing. But now, picking him up here, and just that suplex toss, sending Isaac like 10 feet across the ring there.
Oh, and it looks right there like Isaac is going to try and go for something. That super kick misses, though, as Edward Bronson now just with a barrage of punches on the ground.
It doesn't just miss. Edward Bronson was able to bat that kick out of the way, and now is just following up with this brutal series of strikes. Isaac is going to wake up in the morning looking all black and blue, and now, oh my goodness, that forearm shot to the side of the jaw. I wouldn't be surprised if not only has Isaac lost a few teeth, but perhaps his consciousness. And now on pure instinct here, Isaac's able to hook that arm drag, and now it looks like he's making a bit of a recovery.
Now that kick to the back right there. Isaac is trying to get back into the groove of things. Now don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Isaac has a lot of accomplishments to his name. This guy's a former Vindication champion. He is the longest reigning Discord champion of all time. Isaac is not just your run-of-the-mill, competitor here on the CWL. He is very well versed. He is a Season 1 original, and Edward Bronson cannot take that lightly.
And now he's got that sliding knee strike that was able to plant Bronson's face onto the mat. But Bronson already back up. Oh, and there it is. Good night, Isaac. That is the bloke breaker.
Wow. Absolutely insane. That's literally all it took. He just picked him up like it was nothing. And Jack Steele was just like, nope, you can pass out. I don't care. This match is over.
Look, if the Church of Steel are the standard, that would make a very clear explanation as to why they got broken so hard in that matchup. I mean, Edward Bronson was able to survive the original sin and lock in that bloke breaker to just decimate Isaac.
The winners of the match, Bravo, Edward Bronson, the Broken Standard.
Well, these two are now celebrating their first victory together as a tag team, which, again, is just such a different thing that anybody expected. Just a few months ago, these two were throwing each other off of semi-trucks. And now they seem to be on the same page. And as they go back to the ring, it looks like Jack Steele is not leaving the ring. It looks like we're going to be hearing from Jack Steele. Let's see what he's got to say.
All right, enough of this. Brother Shearman, come down to my ring right now. This has gone too damn far. You disrespectful swine. Do you remember who you were before we met? I remember. A young man with an undefeated streak, an attitude, a YouTube championship. Yeah, sure. But more than any of that, I remember a child who threw all of that away. I remember your ego swelling bigger and bigger every time the commentary team said that you had potential. I remember you losing your title. But I believed that your newfound cockiness was just temporary and that your potential was greater than your failures. I believed that I could hold on to that potential and I could craft it like I've done for so many others. But what happened, Max? I'll tell you what happened. You kept losing. And at Merry Mayhem, when the fate of the church was in your hands, you allowed yourself to be humiliated and beaten. They laughed at us, Max. They laughed at you. Did you see them? I knew that we could move forward from that, and so I gave you a responsibility. I allowed you to wear MD down before I faced him, and what did you do? You failed. Then the match happened, and as you know, I planned for every contingency. Isaac was there, Thunderheart was in the hospital, until he wasn't. So what did you think was going to happen next, Max? True strength comes in numbers, as you know better than anyone. But you were not there. And that brings me to tonight. You know, I'd prepared to come down here to stand by while you stood in this ring and proved yourself to me. I'd prepared to see with my own eyes whether you understood your position among my clergy, and you did not show up again. Where in hell were you, Shearman? Max, I think it is long past time that you understand your place on this brand. You see, you never had potential. You had luck. And now, you have the word of steel, the greatest strength of them all. So Shearman, I need you to open your eyes and look around for a minute. If you do not allow yourself to be saved, you will not be saved. because none of this exists without me. The future of Vindication will not exist without the Church of Steel, but it can exist without you. Max Shearman, you are nothing. Nothing but a vessel to carry my words to the masses. And you need to start understanding that that is all you will ever be.
Well, would you hear that? That is Max Shearman's music right there, right now, blaring through the arena. As Jack Steele just made his intentions known. He's disappointed he's not mad. He's disappointed in Max Shearman. But honestly, I don't know what's going on with Max Shearman. The fact that he's coming out here, I'm gonna assume to confront the Church of Steel. Just tells me something. It gives me good feelings.
I am very curious as to exactly what is going to go down between these two right here, right now. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna, infringe upon this with any more speculation. I am just gonna take a back seat and just watch what unfolds between these two. I am very curious as to exactly what was supposed to happen during that match, who was supposed to be competing, and maybe Max Shearman is doubting his commitment to the Church of Steel. It's very possible, but I would say unlikely.
Now here we see both men, both Isaac and Max Shearman inside the ring, as now they're just staring down Jack Steele. Jack Steele possibly saying that he's still got all the power. I don't know. This is honestly, this is very tense. I feel like a fight's about to happen, but nothing's happening. It's now
Jack Steele is leaving. Isaac is followed. Will Max Shearman join them?
Oh, it looks like he is as he gets out of the ring. He's right there with Jack Steele. It's now both the Church of Steel members leave, but Jack Steele is just right behind them.
The right choice, I would say. The smart choice, all right? He's reuniting with the people that make him strong, all right? The Church of Steel, very mature there from Max Shearman. Very nice. I'm so glad to see that everything is well with the Church of Steel.
That was a very tense situation, Jay. And, I mean, William Black is out here now. We know that he lost the championship match at Global Warning. Let's see what he's got to say as well.
So I just wanted to come out here and let the CWLUniverse know that the Sons of Fenrir did not lose that tag team match at Global Warning. That's right, folks. We did not lose, but we also didn't win. You see, I was out of the ring when Austin was being pinned, all because that mutant freak Stark attacks me. I wasn't even the legal man, therefore that should be illegal and they should have been disqualified. But I digress. So as you're aware, I couldn't see what was going on in the ring. I was essentially blinded. So I call bullshit on that match and I challenge Anarchy Inc. to a match at Verdict.
Well, the challenge has been laid out. I guess normally we don't do rematches here in the CWL unless you earn it, but William Black literally just called the loss at Global Warning BS, and he wants a rematch at Verdict against Anarchy Inc. for the tag team championships. Will it happen? We're gonna have to see if Faith La Rosa and Tommy Hazard can come to an agreement. But before we get to that, Jay Scott, we've got a very exciting matchup here next. Griteri, the self-proclaimed new pride of Mexico, takes on somebody that Chris Princess says is the true pride of Mexico. Who you got here for this one?
For me, I got to be honest, it's really a toss-up for me, but I am very excited to see those two go at it. I mean, Flapjack Carter has been a staple, an exciting staple on Vindication for so long, and Griteri is doing the exact same. I can't wait.
The following match is set for 1 fall. Introducing first, weighing 200 pounds, from Mexico City, Mexico, Greatory.
And you know, a lot of people said that shoulder pads died in the 80s, but Greatory is doing his best to prove those rumors false as he comes out here to show the world that he is the pride of Mexico.
The new pride of Mexico.
The new pride of Mexico. You know, I gotta be honest, when he was, doing all that, when he was, making that big statement about his new identity and everything, I kind of tuned him out because I was just thinking, you know what, Flapjack Carter is going to totally crush him here. You know, I said before, it's kind of a toss-up for me, but in the meantime, I was thinking about it, and look, how can you go up against a legend like Flapjack Carter? I think that Greatory, he's got a little bit of an ego. He's getting a little ahead of himself, thinking that he can go over someone and get the win over someone like Flapjack Carter, and he's very, very wrong.
And his opponents, representing the fabulous, glorious Freaks, weighing 205 pounds, from Mexico City, Mexico, Flapjack Carter.
And here comes Flapjack Carter, the man that Chris Princess has minted as the true pride of Mexico. This is exactly the kind of contest that deserves, significant airtime here on Vindication. These two are tremendous athletes through and through. They have got it all going on, and Flapjack Carter, in my opinion, is going to come out on top, but Greatory is going to do his best to prove me wrong. And, these two, they have had a lot of experience wrestling, not only here, but down in Mexico.
Look at that, immediately going in for that DDT. Could that have actually been it? Oh, Flapjack Carter kicks out at 1. I actually thought Greatory may have actually just pulled it off with one maneuver, but these two are going to go back and forth, back and forth. And here's the thing. Whoever wins this, is that who takes the moniker of True Pride of Mexico?
You know what? I'm going to say right here, right now, that is indeed the case. I'm going to be calling up my friends at the Mexican Embassy in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to ask them personally. I am going to say, is that person... Hold on, let me use Google Translate real quick so I can find out how to say that in Spanish.
Boy. All right, well, while Jay Scott does that, we've got Greatory and Flapjack Carter here on the outside. Now, honestly, I hope Greatory doesn't overlook Flapjack Carter here. Flapjack Carter is one of the very few people here in the CWL, and that I do mean very few. You literally can't even, you can still count them on just one hand. Amount of people that have been a double champion at one point. That means that they held 2 belts simultaneously.
All right, I've sent a text to my friends at the Mexican Embassy, and we will soon find out at the end of this match who is El Verdadero Orgullo de Mexico. That's right, Mr. Worldwide, that's me.
I'm speechless.
As the chairman is speechless because he was astounded by how good my accent is, we are going to continue calling the action here as Flapjack Carter unleashes that huge stomp on the elbow of Greatory, and you got to think that's going to hurt in the morning. But Greatory is still able to kick out. He is not quite done yet. He wants to be, he wants to be given that spot. He wants to show that he is, the thing that I said before. I'm not going to try to say it again.
Oh, look at that! A beautiful moonsault using the middle rope. to get the leverage that needed, but Flapjack Carter still only kicking out at 1.
And now just jetting that super kick right into the abdomen of Griteri and just picking him up and letting him fall. That had to at least be a 6-foot drop there. And now going for perhaps a cutter. Griteri able to get out of it, turns it around. Oh my goodness, what an enziguri right to the side of the head. Beautiful Latin mix up there. And now he's setting up for something huge.
As he's running in for it. Oh, he just twisted right into it. That spinning forearm. Now, with a dagger's end, is that going to be it? Oh, Flapjack Carter still able to kick out this time right before the 3. So Griteri is getting just a little bit closer to ending this matchup.
And now here we go. Turns it around. Arm breaker. And now picks him up. You got to think, Flapjack Carter has got to be looking for one of his signature moves here to maybe put Griteri away. But I got to think, because this is the disadvantage to being such a veteran. Flapjack Carter has so many moves on tape. Griteri had a lot of time to prepare.
I mean, not only that, but, I think Flapjack Carter could also do the same, if I'm being perfectly honest. He hasn't had many Vindication matches, but he has definitely had Genesis matches, where I think is where his shine really came from. But now we see him dropping the leg right there on Flapjack Carter. These two have been going a million miles a minute, basically. And I wouldn't have it any other way if we're really showcasing the style that is Lucha.
Absolutely. I mean, oh my goodness. And look at that. Dragon Twist Cutter just meeting Griteri's face directly with the mat. And that could very well be it. But no! Able to kick out of the count of 2. I gotta be honest, I was not expecting that.
That really did come up out of nowhere. And we know that that's how Flapjack Carter has put away people before. These two are starting to really dig deep into the well of tricks. As now Griteri, he's got Flapjack Carter up. Gory special. He's going for the flatliner. And look at that.
The Mex-liner. Mex-liner directly onto the face of Flapjack Carter. Is he el verdadero orgullo de I'm not going to try to say it again. You say it.
El verdadero orgullo de Mexico. As now Griteri possibly setting up for another dagger's end. This is about the same distance that he had before. Look at that. Beautiful spinning forearm smash right there. The dagger's end connects. And that could be all she wrote for Flapjack Carter. 1, 2, but no! Flapjack Carter still able to kick out.
Flapjack Carter, he heard that my accent was so much better than yours, and it must have infuriated him, and that's what enabled him to kick out there.
Now we see Griteri getting all kinds of fired up with that super kick connecting. Now saying a few words to Flapjack Carter. But who is going to be the one that really connects with what's going to be the final blow? As once again, Griteri is going to be setting up for the Mex-liner. Look at that positioning right there. Center of the ring. It connects. And now that's going to be it. The referee's going to count it. 1, 2, and what just happened?
Talked about this. Flapjack, he is ready. He is ready to absorb punishment to be crowned the Pride of Mexico. He knows how much this means. Oh my goodness, but now, I don't like where this is going. Griteri is getting a running start. Catches him, oh my god, through the turnbuckles and turns him around with that tornado DDT onto the floor.
But that, Flapjack Carter is still able to just keep fighting. This is why he's the pit bull of the Fabulous Furious Freaks. Flapjack Carter is showing us why he was the Twitch and Tag Team Champion simultaneously at one point.
This is huge. This is unprecedented, and Flapjack able to kick out. These competitors, they both have so much. The title of being the Pride of Mexico is on the line, and these two are dealing strikes to one another. What is going to come next?
Oh, Flapjack Carter now setting up in the corner. This doesn't look good. Look at that. He connects with that. Que bárbaro. And that's going to be it.
Flapjack Carter has been crowned the Pride of Mexico. Oh my God! I'm gonna call my my friends at the Mexican embassy to see if they're gonna be able to make this official. See if perhaps they're gonna put some posters up of him in Mexico City or something like that. I don't know the exact specifications for what exactly would be involved by that, but I'll see what I can do.
Flapjack Carter.
And look, all the congratulations in the world to Flapjack here. I mean, just a tremendous victory and, quite frankly, extremely hard fought for both of these individuals.
Absolutely. And you know, that was an incredible match. Neither man has to be like at all embarrassed or disgruntled after that amazing performance by both of those competitors. But now Gritteri knows what kind of playing field he's on. I'm excited to see how this shapes him up to be a better competitor. And honestly, now that we see Harris coming up here, maybe we're gonna see that team up once again of Gritteri and Harris. But we know that Harris has other things on his plate right now, and that is Sergeant Hunter. Harris was suspended. Just gonna put it out there in case you didn't hear. Harris was suspended for attacking one of our medical officials here in the CWL. And this is the first time we're seeing him since that suspension. He says that he has a gift for us. I don't know what that means, but I mean, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what he's got up his sleeve.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been talking, you know, I have my insider sources. Of course, also, if you were listening, which I don't because I never listen to podcasts, quite frankly, I think they're for nerds. But if you were listening to the CWL Fancast this week, I heard that Harris did make an appearance, kind of let people know that he did have something in store for tonight's Vindication. And I think a lot of people are excited to find out exactly what it is.
This is a different Harris than we've seen in the past. A more focused, a more determined Harris than ever before. Even though he walked into the main event of Endgame and walked in against his biggest rival at the time for the Vindication Championship, his first Vindication Championship, I haven't seen anybody as focused as that Harris until now, honestly. But he's right there. He's grabbing the mic right now. Let's see what this man's got to say.
So while I was suspended, I had some time on my hands because I couldn't be in the building. Turns out you're not allowed to assault medical professionals. So yeah, I had a little bit of time, and I decided that I'm going to dial back the call-outs to Sergeant Hunter, and instead I'm going to do kind of a tribute video, I guess you could say. More of a highlights type video of where I'm going to show you guys all of Sergeant Hunter's amazing accolades that he put together in his career, and kind of show you guys why I want him back and why I want to have a match with him. So yeah, without further ado, roll that footage. The next highlight I have here is when Sergeant won his first championship. The next clip that I have is one that went down in CWL history. Nobody in the back was sitting down. They were all standing, watching the monitors, watching in the crowd. They were ecstatic. Here we have Sergeant's second championship run. He's starting to collect title belts and prestige in his name. And, you know, this is an amazing feature to get a second title. The next most amazing accomplishment that I personally look back and say, wow, that is someone who needs to be celebrated, who needs to be looked at as one of the greatest CWL wrestlers of all time. The next clip, I'm just going to call it Last Man Standing. Now it's here that there's little rumblings. I don't know if it was dirt sheets or or what. But there was a little bit of a difference in Sergeant Hunter after that amazing Battle Lines performance, that there was like rumors that there might have been something wrong with Sergeant Hunter. There might be some kind of issue that has been putting off or it's been lingering. Little did we know that Sergeant Hunter was going to be announcing his final, well, maybe his final match. And now we're at the part of the story where Sergeant Hunter got his fairy tale ending against Connor Gates in the grandest stage of them all. Connor Gates versus Sergeant Hunter in Sergeant Hunter's final match. Or was that his final match? How do we know? I've been calling him out. So, what I have in store for you next week is another walk through time. Join me next week where we will chronicle other parts of Sergeant Hunter's career. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Well, thank you, Harris, for taking us down memory lane. That was Sergeant Hunter's career here in the CWL, his highs, if you will. But apparently, he's not done. We're going to hear more about this next week, and that'll be left to next week. This week, though, we got a main event ready. Jay Scott, are you ready for this main event?
Oh, am I ready? I am more ready than I've ever been. I mean, these are some of the most accomplished athletes on the entirety of the CWL roster, and they're going to be going one-on-one in the main event of Vindication. This is incredible, and I cannot wait to see it.
You know, Olivia Mistral possibly still very sour over her loss of the championship at Mary Mayhem, but this is the first time she's going to get any chance to get any kind of redemption. Let's see if she's able to do it.
The following match is the main event of Vindication. Introducing first, representing the fabulous, furious Freaks, weighing 275 pounds, from Buffalo, New York, your Vindication Women's Champion, the monster known as Rox.
Rox coming here with the title slung over her shoulder. She is ready to deal some death and destruction, preferably to Olivia Mistral, but quite frankly, I think she'll take out anyone who gets in her way.
I mean, she is the monster among women for a reason, and she is the two-time Vindication Women's Champion for a reason. Olivia Mistral is in for a tough task, but she's done it before. She can do it again.
And her opponent, representing the Church of Steel, weighing 150 pounds, from Bogota, Colombia, Olivia Mistral.
Well, Jay, there's no Church of Steel behind Olivia Mistral, which I think, personally, this is just me speaking loudly, speaking openly. I think that's going to change the outcome of this rematch, if you will, because the original time these two went at it, it was for the Vindication Women's Championship, and the entire Church of Steel was out here. They basically helped steal the championship for Olivia Mistral. Now, with no Church of Steel, I think Rox is actually going to be able to pull it off and just get another victory.
Look, I think that it's... Olivia Mistral, of course, did have the help of the Church of Steel last time, but, I think she'll still be able to, overcome, despite the significant size advantage that Rox has. I mean, she has a lot of devastating, deadly moves in her arsenal that she was not able to pull out last time, and maybe this will be the time that she's finally able to put Rox down all by herself.
Now, that would be very momentous. I'm not trying to downplay Olivia Mistral's skills and, the way she works here, but I don't know. Rox is a very, very tough hill to climb, if we're being honest.
I think that quite frankly, you don't have enough faith. You don't have enough faith in the Church of Steel. You don't have enough faith in Olivia. And I'm wagging my finger at you. You're getting a finger wagging, and you deserve it. And now, speaking of, maybe I was wrong. I mean, that choke was just so devastating. But look at that. Olivia Mistral coming back. And now she's turning it around. Beautiful arm drag there. And now with that kick to the back.
This is actually the kind of strategy that Olivia Mistral does want to employ. She is the smaller woman, which means that she is going to have a lot of speed. She is going to have a lot of angles that she can come at Rox that isn't available to Rox herself. So she can keep up her speed, and she can keep doing maneuvers like this that really tire a lot of different spots in the body of Rox. I think Olivia Mistral could actually pull this off. She's doing a fantastic job employing her strategy and going through with it.
Yeah, that's what I said, because I'm a wrestling genius, and now here she goes, picking her up, and now she's going to send her into the corner there, and she has a lot of devastating maneuvers that she can, oh my goodness, I was going to say that she can employ in the corner, but she went for that Meteora, and Rox was able to get out of the way, which sent her knees going right into that second turnbuckle pad. Not an experience that you want to be on the receiving end of.
Now here we see Rox possibly getting fired up once again as she's starting to crank the neck of Olivia Mistral. Usually, whenever Rox turns on that switch in her head and she starts going into hurt mode, that is when you need to watch out. I think that may have actually just been what happened, as here we see Olivia Mistral be lifted up and a powerbomb connects.
Yeah, anything called hurt mode, I don't really want to be on the receiving end of. Oh, but we know this. We've seen this dozens of times. Takes her down with the falling Rox, just smashing her face and the top of her chest there against the canvas. That is extremely unpleasant to have to contend with.
Absolutely, and now look at that. Olivia Mistral connecting with a clothesline. A second one. Oh, the big boot. She caught it, and she sucked the leg.
I gotta say, I was not expecting the level of preparation that Olivia Mistral seems to have done for this matchup. It's extremely surprising, and now she's got the airplane spin followed up with the TKO, that shuttle sickness, and I am surprised that she was able to find the strength to lift up Rox, but she did it emphatically.
Look at that. You can see the cockiness start to rise in Olivia Mistral as now she goes for the pinfall, but not enough. Honestly, Olivia Mistral should have gone immediately for the pinfall. She decided to taunt first, and that may have been what actually just caught her the match.
And now, got her picked up here. Oh, I was going to say got her picked up, but Olivia Mistral able to deal that boot right to the abdomen of Rox. Now with the arm breaker, following it around, got it wrenched up, and now, oh my goodness, just wrenching here on the wrist and elbow. Disgusting work there.
And hold on, are we about to see something big from Olivia Mistral here? We know that this is actually how she won the matchup for the championship. We're going to zero gravity.
I gotta say, I was not expecting that. And now here she goes, counting the pinfall. Could this be it? No! Rox able to kick out.
Rox able to kick out. And even though this is a non-title match, it would prove that Olivia Mistral can defeat Rox with no Church of Steel out here. And honestly, this could set her up for a Vindication Women's Championship match down the line. Maybe even at Verdict in 3 weeks.
Absolutely. Now the question is, oh, here she goes. Got her hooked up and just planting her face down on the mat there. There we go. That's got to be it. Oh my God, no! Olivia Mistral still able to kick out. Sending her up. She's going for something big here. I can feel it. Planting her there. Got her picked up.
Right there. Oh, that big shoulder block right there by Rox as Rox is going to the corner. You don't think she's thinking of going up to the top rope, do you?
I gotta be honest, I really hope not, because if she lands that move, it could send the entire building falling down. And now, oh my goodness, almost an arm drag there, but more of a head drag, able to take her all the way down in that headlock position by that, jumping up headlock maneuver. Great job there, and definitely a bit of unexpected offense from Olivia Mistral.
Oh, and now a big forearm sends Olivia Mistral to the outside. Now, again, no disrespect to Olivia Mistral, but we saw what Rox did to Amber Arcade just a few weeks ago, and she basically just destroyed her, and we haven't heard from Amber since. But now, Olivia Mistral's putting up more of a fight. This is actually surprising.
I think that Rox is being a bit of a bully. All right, Olivia Mistral, she has title aspirations, and Rox is not giving her, she's not letting it be a fair fight. The Church of Steel should be out here. I don't know whether it was, the choice of Olivia Mistral not have them out here, or if Rox tried to get general manager Fate de la Rosa to, ban them from ringside. But either way, Olivia Mistral is not getting a fair shot.
Oh, hold on. Olivia Mistral's got Rox up on her shoulders one more time. She's going to go for that shuttle sickness. Look at that. She plants her one more time. If she goes for the zero gravity now, that could be it.
She could be looking for something else as well. Oh, got to toss in the corner. Looking, oh my goodness, once again, looking for that Meteora into the corner, but not him. Oh no, we know what this is. The falling Rox into the corner, just taking her down, her head bashing against 1, 2, 3 turnbuckles, and that has got to be enough to get the 1, 2, 3, and Rox scores the victory in the main event of Vindication. Congratulations, and someone needs to check on Olivia Mistral.
That was definitely one of the nastiest maneuvers I've ever seen before. But if anything, the falling Rox on the turnbuckles has always been one of the best maneuvers that Rox has. And there's been no answer to it. There really hasn't.
Candy, your face is impacting with 3 different pieces of metal. That's basically a death blow in a wrestling match.
The winner of the main event, the monster known as Rox.
Now as we see Olivia Mistral right there, kind of just attempting to get back up to her feet, but not having any luck. The referee's got closed eyes, but congratulations to the Vindication Women's Champion for picking up another amazing victory. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go here today from Vindication, Jack Thunderheart has asked for a little bit of time to be able to call out the Vindication champion, Michael Young. Now, we heard, and it was made official, that Jack Thunderheart is actually going to be the one challenging Michael Young for the Vindication Championship at Verdict. We don't know the extent of what you guys will get to vote on, but this is Jack Thunderheart's golden opportunity to really make his name here in the CWL. He has had an impressive record as of late, and if he manages to beat the Lord of the Lariat, that could be possibly one of the biggest upsets in CWL history.
Yeah, it could be, but it's not going to happen, all right? I mean, Jack Thunderheart, he's a pretty good wrestler, but he is completely outclassed by Michael Young. I mean, it doesn't get any better than the Lord of the Lariat.
Well, you may believe that, but here we go. Jack Thunderheart grabbing the microphone right now, getting ready to say a few words. Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. You see the distance right there. Michael Young is all the way up in the stage. It looks like he's deciding whether he wants to come back out or not, but Jack Thunderheart is in the ring. He's ready for it. Oh, I think we're going to have a fight. I think we're going to have a mauling.
I mean, how stupid can you be than to call out the Vindication Heavyweight Champion? But, yeah. Now, look, I said it. I said it, and no one listened to me. I said that I was looking for someone, all right, who was gonna have the force to do what I needed them to do, all right, to overcome any obstacle, to kind of unleash some devastating punishment on the Vindication roster. And Pistolero answered. He said that he was looking for the highest bidder, and I am the highest bidder. Pistolero is a member of Star Jammer LLC, baby! And these two deserve that celebration, all right? Jack Thunderheart was an idiot to call out the champion. He was an idiot to call out Star Jammer LLC. He deserved that mauling, and he is going to get so much more.